Another everyday hero, Paul Gorman, Distinguished Toastmaster.
How many of you love what you do and do what you love? Several of you, that's a great thing. Today I want to talk with you about just that, about the importance of passion. The last speech I talked about some of the heroes that I've found in my life and some of the lessons that I've learned from them. They include setting high goals, work hard, play by the rules, persistence, and so forth. But all of those skills, all of those values will burn out. You'll burn out if you don't have the flames of passion. Passion is like Abraham Lincoln, Tony said, passion is what forges you, what keeps you going through the tough times. So this morning, I want to tell you a little bit about another hero that I found. This guy, Robert, is 38 years old. He is the president and CEO of a restaurant company. He has 2 restaurants here in Dallas, 2 in Houston, opening number 5 in Scottsdale, Arizona in a couple of months, 1 or 2 months. Another at Katy Trail will be opening in the next year or 2. And he's set high goals. He's got the goal of 1 restaurant per year for the indefinite future. He has passion. Well, how did he get that? And as I tell you his story, I want you to think about your own story. Where can you find your own passion? Grab a hold of that thing and never let go. Robert was lucky enough to have a mom who had her own passion. She loved to cook, out of necessity actually, but that's another story. She took cooking lessons from some of the best chefs in the world, read all of the cooking books that she could find. She could read a cookbook like others read novels. As soon as Robert was old enough to stand up, she'd stand him at the counter and let him help her to mix whatever she was mixing, even cut the carrots. So he was involved from an early age. More than that, the family was lucky enough to be able to eat out at really good restaurants. And from the time that he could talk, he was allowed to order for himself off the menu. Now imagine you're a waiter and this little 5-year-old kid says, "I'd like a steak medium rare with artichokes." Well, okay, you don't see that every day. You don't see that often, but that was Robert. So he grew up that way. Well, he was a good athlete, but just an average student. Eventually, he came to Dallas and went through SMU. He called up when he was a junior. "Mom, I know what I want to do. I want to become a chef. I want to be a cook." She said, "Honey, that's lovely, but after a couple of years, 3 years at SMU and all that time and money, how about you graduate? If that's what you still want to do, we'll send you to cooking school." Well, that's what he wanted to do. So they sent him to the CIA, the other CIA, Culinary Institute of America. And there, he started to excel as a student. He was established in doing term papers on such academically rigorous topics as the comparison of cheese, or how do you slice and dice an onion and why. After that, he graduated. It looked as though he was going to be destined to become a short order cook at the Waffle House Diner after SMU. Nothing wrong with that, but nevertheless. So anyway, as fate would have it, he had also sort of absorbed some entrepreneurial skills. The family had been involved with various entrepreneurial activities, but at this particular time, they owned a pizza franchise. They were the franchisor. They had business. His father died, so he had to step into that. So he was able to, that wasn't exactly the high-end restaurant, but he brought the culinary skills, he learned the business, and with SMU, he was able to do all of that. But after being able to follow through on his passion, learn the skills that came along with that, then he was able to come to Dallas and start this restaurant company, which he is really able to excel. So my point is, find out what your own passion is. Find it. If you don't like what you're doing, don't do it. Do something else. Life is just too short. Because you've got to have the passion. Because that's what's going to drive you through all the good times and the bad. And that's, yeah, you have some shenanigans too, but that's another story. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thanks very much. Very nice. All right, we have Brian Barber as our next speaker. SoundsFire